In this video, we're going to be talking about how to make big screen maps for the. To get started, we're going to go to the GitHub, and that link can be found in the description. We're going to go to code, download zip, scroll down, go to this link, and you're going to scroll down until we see 2020.3.3. Okay, so now we click install. We can install this in Unity Hub. It's going to open up. I already have it installed, but that should run the installer for you. Now we're going to go to new project. We're going to name this tutorial. We're going to make sure that it's set on the right setting. We're using the 3D built-in render pipeline. Leave all that the same and click create. Okay, now that it's done loading, we're going to right click on the assets. We're going to go to create, scene, name this one tutorial. Now we're going to delete this. We're going to drag our tutorial scene onto our hierarchy and remove the other scene. Now, right click on the assets, click to import custom package. You're going to want to find your BigScreen Creator Club template. Select that and import all. Alright, now that that's imported, go to template assets, prefabs, environments, put your scale reference figure in, and I'm going to put this at 0, 0, 0. So this is our center of our world. I'm going to put our scale reference at 0, 0, 0. I'm going to grab it and drag it over here. Put it off to the side. Okay, so that's all for Unity right now. Okay, now go to your scene root, right click, go to prefab and unpack, and after that you should be good on Unity for now. So click save, and you can exit out of this if you want. Now we're going to talk about our modeling software. This is called Sweet Home 3D. The link's in the description. Go to download, and you can either do the free version or the paid version. I use the free one myself. We're going to download that and run the installer. Once you've ran the installer, you should get a blank scene. And to get started with this, we're going to go to File, Preferences, and click Selection and Editing in 3D View. Click this from Disable to Enable. Now, click your Wall tool, and we're going to find our 0, 0. This is our 0, 0 here. So you can see when I click, it starts making a wall in the bottom part. So I'm going to make a rectangle box. We're going to go 30 by 25 by 30, 25. Okay, now I'm going to click escape. Let's go and finish off that wall. Now you can see we have a 3D object. So what I'm going to do is go to select, drag, copy, Control C. Now we're going to right click on this grid and click add level. And we're going to click Control V. So all that did was make a second level for us. So now we're on the second level. we can use this rooms tool. So I'm going to start in the corner. Gonna work it over here. We're going to go 12 out by 25. Click escape. Now we have a loft area. We're going to add a staircase. Okay, now that you found your staircase, we're going to pick a spot for it. See, when I put it here, it's actually putting it on the floor that I just placed. So I'm going to copy and delete, go back to level 1 and paste. Go over here, see our elevation is set to 0. Control that with this arrow. This is our scale. We can control our scale of our item. This is the height of our model. And this is the rotation. So let's see. Go back to 3D view and click display all levels. You can see that it cut out the hole for us. So let's see where we want this to end up. Okay, now we have a way to get up to our loft. Let's add some windows. Okay, now we found a door. We can choose where we want it. Put it in the corner there. Get one of these windows. I'm going to add this one looking out. Alright, okay. Gonna put this in the middle, and we're going to scale it outwards. Remember, these are 25. Put it at 25. See, it's a tiny bit off, so we're gonna go 25.2. There we go. Now, go over to height, scale it up, move it to 16. Okay. Now we have our door, our windows, a loft. We're going to add some railing for that loft area. Okay, now that we found our railing, let's bring it into our scene. You can see that it's not lining up on that wall. So we're going to zoom in. We're going to place it right on the wall. Now we copy, we paste, and repeat this process, lining it up as you go. Now you have your railing, your stairs, your windows, and your doors. We're going to add a texture to everything on here. So to do this, we're just going to double click. You can see that the walls are made out of 3 different models: the left, the right, and the top. So I'm just going to put any texture on here. You can see that I put it on there. So we're going to repeat that, going all the way around. Now we have everything assigned a texture. The reason I did that was because when we import this into Unity, if we didn't have a texture assigned to it, it wouldn't be able to have a detailed texture like this brick. It would just come out as this color of brick, just a solid color. Now you have it built in here. Right click on this 3D view and click Export to OBJ format. Gonna name this tutorial. I'm just going to save this to my desktop. Now, I'm going to also save this. Click Save As. Save it to the desktop. Okay, now we can exit out of Sweet Home, go back into our Unity scene, go to Assets, User Environments, Models. We're going to create a new folder in here. Call it tutorial and then underscore your username. Open that folder, click import new asset. Go back to your desktop, find your tutorial.obj, click import. Drag and drop that into your scene. You can tell it is giant, so put this 0, 0, 0 and go to the scale tool, grab the white box so it scales evenly. Let's bring it down to size. So you can see our scale reference figures right here. There's a 2-story building. Should be roughly about there. So let's grab our scale reference, bring it over to this door. Okay, so you can see the door lines up with this box. This box is where your height is when standing in game. So go back to your tutorial model, go back to scale. We're going to bring this up a little bit to where there's a gap. Okay, that's a little better. Now when you're walking under the door, it won't be immediately at your head. So now, to start shaping this out, we're going to get some textures together. Okay. Now that we have it scaled correctly, let's go into User Environments, go into Materials, Create, Folder. Alright. Now import. You could either use the textures that Sweet Home gave you, so this will export with it. We could just add this onto the wall if we want. You can use your own textures. When we add this picture, onto the wall, it creates a new material. But this material, you can change the color of it by clicking in on color. After importing your textures, you can add it onto here. As you can see, this might not look perfect and it might not be scaled right. So what we're going to do is go to Tutorial, Prefab, and Unpack. That will separate these all into individual models, but they'll be under the same folder still. So now you go around just dragging and dropping this. You should have all the outside walls textured. Okay, now I'm going to go to Create, Material, call this Window Seal. We're going to change this color to a dark gray, almost black. Put that on our window seal. Do the same with the outside. Now we're going to make another material. Call this one glass. We're going to change the rendering mode to transparent. We're going to go into color and move this to around 30. If you make it 0, it's going to be completely transparent. And you can see there's not much of a reflection there. So if we make it a little above 20, below 30, you get a slightly better glass effect in my opinion. Okay, so now we're going to do that to all the windows in our map. We're going to take our tutorial, make sure it's set at 0, 0, 0, and we're going to move it 0.1 up. That way this grid is not interfering anymore. Do the same with this, 0.1. Now it's inside of it, you can see the textures colliding. Okay. You have your package from Sweet Home in Unity. So we're going to click Save. We're going to find some furniture assets. I use itch.io. So go to itch.io, go to Browse, Assets, and search up Low Poly. can scroll through here. There's a lot of different ones. So search up low poly, then search up furniture. This is the pack that I'm going to be using in the video. But there's a lot of different ones you can go through here. There's free sets and paid sets. But a lot of them are free and come with the textures. Once you've found your furniture pack, we're going to go to User Environments, Models, Tutorial, and click Create Folder. Name this one Furniture. In Furniture, we're going to click Import New Asset, and we are going to find our asset pack. Now you have all of your furniture imported. We're going to go through here, figure out where we want stuff to be. So I want to have a bedroom up here, want to have a living room down here, patio out there, and a kitchen over here. Now that we have our furniture, we're going to start setting up our environment. So let's see, we're going to start with our TV. We can go to our search up TV. A few different ones in here. Here we go. Put this into our scene. You can see it's way too big. So we're going to bring over our scale reference figure. And put them right by each other. We're going to scale this until it seems right. So grab the white dot. I do want a bit of a bigger TV, so we're going to leave it around there. But this model specifically is kind of big, so I'm going to shrink it a little bit, just to make it a little bit more flat. Alright, let's move this back over here. We're going to have a TV over here. So to rotate and snap it into a place, you're going to want to hold Control. It'll bring up these lines. If you don't hold Control, it'll just look like this. So, going to want to position this, bring it into the wall, line yourself up with the wall, and bring it outward. See how it's still inside the wall? Bring it out until 1 pixel's not inside of it. That way we can have it as close as possible. I'm going to move it a little bit down. Alright. I know this is rough and probably not the best environment I could do, but it's gonna do for the tutorial. So we're gonna go over to our screen placeholder. We're gonna move this over to our wall. Try to line it up and then push it into the TV. You can see we're not going to push it so far back that it shows blue, but we're also not going to push it so far forward that it doesn't show those bezels. Let's find a happy in between. Grab your scale tool. Try to get as close as possible on this. Now let's do our height. To make sure we're good, just try to see if you can see any of the edges. Okay, should be good on our first screen. Now I'm thinking we should probably add a second screen somewhere up here in the bedroom area. So let's just add one there. So let's grab our mirrored screen. We're going to drag it over here. Actually, you know what? We're going to put this one on this wall. And go a little bit bigger with it. Okay, now that that's scaled evenly, let's put it to a comfortable spot. Alright, now let's go to our lighting, turn this on, grab our lighting, and we're going to move it over here. This is our screen lighting. So when the lights are turned off, this is what will be lighting the room. So do the same exact thing as you did before. Okay, there's one. Let's do the second. Rotate. We're going to grab one of our seats. Go to seats. I'm just going to grab this first one here. Move it over. Then do the same with the seat traditional. Move that one over. Going to move our cameras over here. And our colliders we're also going to move over. Don't forget to add this. This is essentially your world border. you're going to want to make it a tiny bit bigger than the build itself, but not by much. Now, select all of these and delete. Delete that. So you can see we still have our seats that actually matter over here. So, now let's get started with seating. We're going to pick a spawn point. So this should be where we spawn first. Okay, now we just copied and pasted those. We have 3 seats facing towards the screen. We're going to do that a few more times. So Control C, Control V. Move that up here. With the beds, I like to line it up with the pillow and move a little bit down. Control C, Control V. Hold Control while moving, it will lock. We're going to rotate. Rotate again. Alright, those are regular seats done. We have 5 of those. With our traditional seat, it's orientated over here. We're going to set this one at ground level, peek it through the ground and bring it back up. Here we are. Okay, so Control C, Control V. Hold Control while doing it. Just keep on doing this process. Now we have all of our seating done. We're going to add a light. We're going to make it a point light. We're going to make sure the mode is set to baked. I'm going to change this to a more yellow tinted light, just so we have a more accurate looking light bulb. Because not everything's an LED bulb. We're going to put this inside of our lamp, so that way it gives off a glow. Position that all you want. You can change the intensity of it. Gonna put it at 0.6. Okay. Now, let's see. Okay. Now we have our screen lights, our screens, our seating, and our regular lights. Now we're going to start organizing stuff into 3 specific folders. Our tutorial, our furniture, and our lights. So let's see. go through and unpack all the prefabs of the furniture that you placed. And make a new folder, call it furniture, and move all of these into that. I'll move these into tutorial. Your scene route, which is all of the screens, seats, that stuff, and your lights. So now we're going to move this under tutorial, and this also under tutorial. We're going to delete our scale reference figure, and we're going to go through here and delete any unused assets just to save on space. Okay, now you're going to want to check your poly count. To do that, run. Now, if I go to the camera and have it facing directly onto our build, with it all being in frame, now that you moved your camera in place, you can go to stats and check your triangle count. You're going to want to make sure the entire building's in the frame. Okay, check the description for the video on doing that outside of the world, in case you want terrain. So from this point, we go into light, bakes, screen lit variants. After you have everything organized into their own folders, go here, click static, and click yes, change children. We're going to open up tutorial, which is our building. Go down to our light and click this check mark. That turns it off for us. So now go into window, rendering, lighting, and you're going to want to click new light settings. We're going to call this one screens. Keep it on shadow mask and set it to non-directional. You're going to want to click generate lighting, and this will take a minute. Go to user environments, go to scenes, go to the new folder that was just made, right click and click show and explore. Now you're going to want to move the data in this folder into your screens folder. So move that over, and this has to be outside of Unity. So just make a new folder, move it over there for now. When you do that, you might see that the lights change. So now go back here, turn on the point light, and turn off the screen lights. Now we're going to repeat the same process. Go to rendering, lighting, go into here. We're going to make a new folder. This one is going to be called tutorial Captain B4, Go in here, click New Light Settings, call this one Lights. We're going to set this to Baked Indirect Non-Direction. Click Generate Lighting. After that's done, go back to Scenes, Tutorial, Show and Explorer, and repeat the same process of copying it to a folder outside of Unity. So now we have both of those screens and lights done. We're going to go back to User Environments, Light Bakes, Screens, and all we're going to do is drag and drop. Just drag and drop that. And drag and drop that. Okay. Now, from this point, you're almost done. There's a few more things that you might want to do. We're going to click Run just to make sure our lighting's good. Sometimes it glitches out, and one of them will work and the other one won't. Okay, now we're going to go through here and we are going to add box colliders to everything. So to do that fast, we're going to move our inspector over and just do this. So you can see when we add one, you can edit it by clicking Edit Collider. You can see the corners of it here. Typically, it does the work for you. So we're just going to go through, click Add Collider to every box. Alright, now with the furniture, you're going to want to be a little bit more exact with it, but typically it does it right. Only stuff you really have to worry about is the stuff you sit on. So like the bed, when I add the box collider, you can see it's a little high. So I'm going to click Edit Collider. And grab this top box and just move it down. That way, people throw stuff at it, it'll be on the bed. So now, after all that, hold Control, click A. We can see all of our colliders. So you're going to want to make sure everything's covered. If you can see a green skeleton, you should be good. Now, at this point, all we got to do is click Export Package. Click check mark on Template Assets. Make sure it's not selected and click Export. We're going to name this and click Save. Now, with your finished Unity package, right click, click Properties, and you can see how big it is. We have 74 megabytes to mess around with, so 2 megabytes is amazing. We just upload this to any file sharing software. I use Google Drive because it's free, but you can use whatever. Okay, now once you're done, go to the Discord and go to Submit Your Environment. Just open up a ticket. You can put your username, name of your environment, description, and then the link to the file itself. Anyway, hopefully this helped. Thank you for watching, and let me know if you need any help. You can message me on the Discord, and yeah, alright, have a nice night.